We may live in the 21st century, but it can feel like the dark ages in terms of attitudes about the LGBTQ community.
Society is still kind of like puts us in boxes. Still, society doesn't really give us the chance to live freely, because there are, look at what's going on in America. The laws that are being presented, these things really affect your soul, your whole being.
To challenge this surge of anti-drag and anti-trans laws, FilmOut celebrates the broad spectrum of the LGBTQ plus community through movies. Its stated mission is to enlighten, educate, and entertain through the exhibition of LGBTQ-themed films.
Wait, is this your first kiss?
And once again, the festival delivers on its mission with films that invite us into the world of drag performers, that tell personal stories about identity.
I had to get really comfortable being the only person of color and only Black woman in a lot of the spaces that I was moving through in San Diego.
And look at how a hate crime can impact a community. Nitzan Gilady's In Bed reflects real violence that occurs in Israel and what happens when the perpetrator of a hate crime is not caught.
Started to think about what happens if he's someone that when you go and order a coffee, he's the one who actually served the coffee. And maybe he's someone I'm opening the door for him for a date.
And it's that idea that starts to unnerve the main character in his film.
I think that triggers his paranoia, and it triggers everything within him. His self-hate, his fear from meeting, even interacting with other people.
The film is also about the need for love, even against a backdrop of hate and violence. Queer filmmaker Sav Rodgers documents a very personal tale of discovery that began when he saw the Kevin Smith movie, Chasing Amy.
Holden McNeil was set in his ways, but then she showed up.
My life changed from there, because not only was I so moved by the grand romanticism in Kevin's work, but also I saw queer people, getting to have full realized lives for the first time in my life in this cinematic foray into that. Chasing Amy was that lightning rod for me, but also a life raft when I really needed it, struggling in school as a kid, as a queer kid who everybody else figured out was queer before I did.
Now Rodgers explores how Chasing Amy fits into a bigger social context in his documentary, Chasing Amy.
From the outset, I always thought that there was something special there about the story of Chasing Amy and the intersection with the LGBTQ community.
C2, take one. Parker.
Do you understand why I love this movie so much?
No.
The film begins as a fan doc about Rodgers' love for Smith's work. It then morphs into a story about his changing relationship to that movie, prompted in part by his interview with actress Joey Lauren Adams.
The movie is amazing, but whatever moved you, there's a dark side too.
The process of making the film pushed Rodgers in ways he never expected.
As a filmmaker, the painful parts were exploring my transition, because as you can imagine, I was not terribly interested in preserving a part of myself that I wish that people generally wouldn't remember.
Rodgers' ability to pivot as a director and see that his documentary needed to be something different than what he had originally imagined is just one reason why Chasing Amy is such a fresh, inspiring film. And a final pair of recommendations. San Diego Latino Film Festival is co-presenting Trace of Your Lips from Mexico on Saturday. Set during the pandemic, it's a dark, explicit, and claustrophobic film. Then, Sunday's closing night film, Golden Delicious, will be co-presented by San Diego Asian Film Festival. It focuses on a high school senior who tries to meet everyone's expectations while ignoring his own. These are just a few of the offerings at this year's FilmOut, but I hope they entice you to seek out more. Thanks for watching. I'm Beth Accomando, KPBS Arts and Culture reporter, and I cover everything from live theater to film reviews. So please subscribe and check out the playlist. And thanks.